Todo is the backbone of Jujutsu Kaisen. The eccentric sorcerer we know as Aoi Todo, aka the top-knot gorilla with a 530,000 IQ, may be more important to the story than you realize. Of course, we know he is best of friendo to our main character and plays a vital role throughout the story, especially in the big battles. And I don't mean because of his ability pairing really well with Yuji Itadori. While that may be true and they do make a hell of a team, I am more so referring to Todo being a springboard for Yuji's development and growth. See, I wouldn't call him a teacher or sensei to Yuji. That role is more fit for Nanami and Gojo. As Choso plays the role of Yuji's brother, Todo is more just like as he says, a best friend, a running partner if you will. He's not confined by a predetermined job, role, or even lineage. Within the narrative, he exists specifically for Yuji, and that is very important to their dynamic. Yuji is the type of person to accept people for how they are. He doesn't treat people differently based on their flaws. Where most people see flaws as indifference, Yuji just sees the individual. The flaws make them who they are. And Todo is a very eccentric person that knows what he wants, and he makes it known. He doesn't sugarcoat things, and he has a, well, let's just be real, an overwhelming sense of self. He is the quintessential sorcerer. Remember, sorcery rewards those who are selfish. I feel like that phrase gets blown out of proportion a bit because the selfish are not the only ones who reap the rewards. It's the overwhelming sense of self. It's about following your decisions and accepting the outcome, whatever it is. Just having complete faith in yourself, this is what you want to do, and you do it. Todo exemplifies those traits. And that is why Yuji puts so much trust in him. The character that we meet in chapter 16, Aoi Todo, is for the most part the same character that appears at the end of chapter 259. Well, of course, he has an instrument for a hand now, but aside from that, he is still the sly, cunning savant of sorcery. I'd like to interrupt for just a quick second and say that it does suck Todo didn't ask Sukuna the famous question. Let's get back to the video. Those things are important because it's a matter of consistency from Todo. That's what makes the end of chapter 259 believable, that Yuji can get up and still fight and just trust Todo's words that it's probably going to be alright. All he can do is keep moving forward. Yuji is our main character, our vehicle through this story. As important as Todo is to Yuji, Todo is equally as important to the narrative. I mean, we even see a lot of the dialogue choices from earlier on in the story reappear in later battles. And it's always when Todo is fighting alongside Yuji. That's what makes him the perfect support character. His gimmick doesn't run old on us, it doesn't wear us down, or we don't get tired of it. Todo's hijinks, quirkiness, and wild personality are accepted. We welcome it. So much so that the fan base wants more of it. I personally view Todo as like Gege's biggest asset. He used him sparingly, but at the perfect times. When it mattered most, Todo appeared. And when you look at the final panel appearance count for the characters, you can make the argument that Todo is more important to Yuji's story and development than 4 or 5 characters in front of him. And that's obviously a decision made by Gege on purpose. I feel like he wanted to nail home the bond and connection of Todo and Yuji through the battles that they faced together. I guess you could look at it like Todo was Yuji's support system for dealing with external adversity, whereas Choso was Yuji's support system for dealing with adversity internally. And that isn't to discount or discredit either their bonds with Yuji. They both play an important role for his development, but that should also tell you how vital Todo is to the story. Choso automatically had a big role to play in the story for Yuji because of his blood connection. Todo was just another dude from a different school. But because of the type of person Yuji is, he could make that connection. He can resonate with Todo as a person and create this bond. Todo sensed something different about Yuji. He can tell he had an overwhelming sense of self and a strong will. That's what Todo's looking for when he asks his famous question. Yuji answers as someone who knows what he wants, doesn't worry about what others think, he just says what he feels. Megumi did not have an answer that was acceptable to Todo. That's boring to him. Even though earlier on I said Todo wasn't like a teacher or sensei, he does in fact help Yuji out with understanding the flow of cursed energy, which led to him breaking the Black Flash record. But more important than the fighting, Todo helps him understand or make a connection to Nanami's final words to help him keep pushing forward. Which I really like the fact that in Shibuya, it wasn't Todo that saved Yuji all by himself. It was Nanami and Todo that saved Yuji. Todo just made things a bit clearer for him. And that is the foundation for what happens at the end of 259. Todo's importance lies within the battles, but Gege handled his character perfectly and in such a way that it gave Todo layers to really leave a lasting impression not only on the main character, but us as readers, so we can go back throughout the story and see the influence from the Goodwill arc all the way to the end of the story. Whether it be because Yuji and his superhuman physicality was able to keep up with Boogie Woogie, which made him the perfect duo for Todo, or the fact that Yuji could accept Todo for how he is, both accepting each other for as they are, not viewing one as the vessel of sukuna or the other as some weirdo with an idol obsession. It's all of these reasons why Todo is one of the greatest support characters of all time.